It's time for another brief look at the Premier League going into Week 5. Fair warning, this analysis is results driven and the computer has no idea which teams are the favorites to dominate. That does mean the odds and projections shown, particularly early in the season, are unlikely to be anywhere close to what experts would deem realistic. On to the title race. Again, we're just a few weeks into the season, so without any bias for or against good and bad teams, these numbers are going to take some time to firm up. With those disclaimers, the mathematical probability points to around 77 points as what is going to be needed. As long as we have more than one team rip through the rest of the league, this number will climb. Looking at the teams in the early running, starting with everyone's favorite, Manchester City with an unblemished record after beating Brentford. That puts their statistical odds to win it all at 14%. We'll see how truly much they are going to run over the league with two tests coming up, hosting Arsenal and then on the road against Newcastle. Next up is that Newcastle United team who beat the Wolves to keep pace. Mathematical odds for the title at 10%. Now they have been taking advantage of the bottom half of the league so far, and another chance to do so this week against Fulham before that big match against Manchester City. So because they haven't played a top team yet, their rest of season difficulty is judged to be slightly tough compared to the rest of the league. This will be more relevant in the second half of the season, but I wanted to show one of the things we'll be tracking throughout the season. Before moving on, if you're playing in Fantasy Premier League or any fantasy sports league and want to know what matters and get all sorts of geeky analysis on the title or playoff race, check out the PlayoffComputer App on the Play Store. Holding the number 3 spot this week is Arsenal, who beat the Spurs to get to 10 points. 9% title chance. That big match against Manchester City this week, and then some more friendly games to build up some points. Liverpool, with the unexpected loss to Nottingham Forest, falls to 4th place. They will look to bounce back with some games against the bottom half of the league for the next few. Aston Villa has racked up a few wins over the have-nots. Gets to continue so for at least the next two. 8% statistical chance for the title. Nottingham Forest has yet to lose a game, so that is good enough to be on the list of those in technical title contention. Beating Liverpool certainly was huge. We'll see how long they hang out with the big boys, as they certainly were not a preseason pick to be anywhere near the top. Brighton hasn't lost a game yet either, but I don't think merely tying Ipswich was what they had in mind. They play Nottingham Forest this week, so we'll see if either one of them can pull off a win to stay in the chase of Manchester City. Chelsea trying to shake off the early rust at 7 points right now with 5% mathematical odds. Have West Ham up next before a chance to pass up Brighton and Nottingham Forest. Moving on to the race for safety. As with the title race, these numbers are highly suspect early on, but for now, call it 44 points needed to be safe. For the teams in trouble, Everton leads that list, 0 points, around 2/3 chances to stick around for next year. We'll look to get on the board against Leicester and Crystal Palace to give them any chance. Southampton joins them in the pointless society. If there is any solace for them, all their games so far have been against teams currently in the top half. They also get a chance to get off the schnoz with a game against Ipswich this week. The Wolves at a big 1 point, and things unlikely to get better anytime soon with Aston Villa and Liverpool in their near future. Another team that could maybe take comfort in the fact that all their games so far have been against teams off to a good start, which means the remainder of their schedule is slightly easier compared to the others. Ipswich with the tie against Brighton to give them perhaps 2 more points than what the experts may have predicted they would have at this point. The game against Southampton gives them an opportunity to get around to the middle of the standings. Right now, about 3 out of 4 chances to stick around. Crystal Palace also at what has to be a disappointing 2 points. They have yet to play any of the top teams and haven't played any of the bottom of the barrel teams either. Leicester with 2 points gets Everton this week to try to bulk up before a tough game against Arsenal. Due to some logistical issues, there won't be a discussion here next week. Hopefully I can still get a summary put out on Reddit sometime during the week, which of course you can look at any time if you don't want to listen to me droning on here. That's it for now. Things will be rather brief until things heat up much later in the season. Until next time, enjoy your day.